Hey everyone, welcome to Mr. Holland's Classroom. Now, this video is more of a math review for my friends who've been doing my math chapter 1. All the lessons talking about numbers 0 through 5. Now, I figured I'd make this video because some of you might be asking, why do we have to do this? Numbers, like why do I have to count? Why do I have to show how many? Well, believe it or not, math is one of the most important concepts that we use in our day-to-day life. You might not think about it, but we use it in everything. Numbers are what we use to measure things. We measure time, we measure space, we measure distance, we measure anything. You can count anything. You can count words, letters, you can count sounds. We use math in music, we use math in science, we use math in everything we do. So it's important to understand the basics. And as a kindergarten teacher, that's where I'm at. So one of the things that we've done in my math, chapter 1, is we've been talking about this concept of writing the numbers to represent. So you might have heard a counting song or that shows you how to write numbers like 0 through 10. I know I've showed my friends that. So it's important to do because it's a way for us to communicate. So if I'm on the phone with you and I say, well, how many blocks do you have? And you need to be able to tell me, first of all, by counting 1, 2, 3, 4. Do you see them? Boom. Okay, but we also need to show them, because if you were to like text me and tell me how many you had, you would need to know what that number is. So if I'm looking and I have these 4 blocks, 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, I can't see it if you're texting me, so you're gonna have to know the number. So I need to know that 4 is down a crossing, cut in half. I am number 4. It's important. It helps us to communicate. Also, it's the same thing with looking at objects. So if I have one object, I need to know that I can write it as a word, but also as a number. So those are some of the things that we were learning, and hopefully within the stuff that we're talking in the future, we can go even higher than 0 to 5. We're going to work our way up from 0 to 20, but we got to start small. We start somewhere and build our way up. So the next thing we talk about is being able to use a number to tell how many. And that's important, and there's several ways to do that. So breaking that down, one of the things that we do is we can count objects one by one and say the numbers in order. So if I said, hey, so how many pieces of candy did you get? Well, being able to lay them out and count one by one, oh, I took this many. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's important so that if we need a different number, or if you want to have more, we know how many you have so that we can give you enough to have what you need. Another way that we do this is by knowing that when you say the last number, that's how many you actually have. You don't go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then say 7. You don't have that many. You only have 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I stopped at 6. That's how many I have. The other way that we show this is by knowing that when you count, that if you want to know the next number, you would just add one more. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 would be next. I can add one more and make it 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I can do it for any number. I can do it for this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I just added one more to make 8. So those are important ways to use numbers as well, because it can help us determine what we have, what we need, and how much it will take to get us there. And again, we start small. That's why we start by adding one more. So you're actually learning how to do a number plus 1. You're learning an addition equation already. And so we start from there, and we'll continue to add more, and then we'll even get into some taking away and that kind of stuff. All right, and the last thing we were talking about in my math chapter 1 is that being able to tell if a group is greater than, less than, or equal to. And we use this quite a bit because we're talking about when we measure and compare groups. So if you and your friend are trying to share this candy and you just take a couple of them in each of your hands, you need to be able to know, well, who has more, who has less, or, if it's equal, because we like to be equal when we're being fair. So we need to know how to count so we can tell the amount. So on one hand here, my friend Johnny right here, he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He has 8 pieces of candy. And over here, my friend Chris has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pieces of candy. 8 and 7. So we're looking and going, well, hey, is it equal? Well, 8 and 7 are not the same number, so they are not equal. And if I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, if Chris had one more, then he would be equal to Johnny. But that we don't have one more. So that means Johnny has an extra, which means his group is greater than Chris's group of 7. 8 is greater than 7. And then you're thinking, well, how do we solve the problem? Well, let the teacher eat one. Sugar. So now they have 7. Now, 7 and 7, they are equal. They have the same amount. Now, of course, if Chris starts eating his, and you go, hey, you still have more than me. That's true in the hand, but he had 4, and then he decided to eat 3. So technically he has 7, it's just that 3 of them are inside his belly, and 4 of them are in his hand. Anyway, all that's to say, yeah, I hope that you are able to use the skills that you learned to learn how to count objects, how to write the numbers, how to say how much, and to be able to compare groups, because these are skills that we use in everything that we do. And I hope that when you get these skills that you are able to use them, practice them, so that you can build upon them. One of my favorite things to do with numbers has to involve money. When you have dollar bills or you have change, you know that eventually we're going to be able to count these things and tell how much money we have. And if you don't know how to count or you don't know about numbers, it's going to be hard for you to handle money. So before we can handle money, we really need to know how to count and use numbers so we know how much of the things that we can buy. If I have $2, how much candy can I get? Or how much toys can I buy? And what kind of change do I need? Those are things that we will eventually get to when we practice these math skills. But it's important for you guys to understand counting and numbers and identifying. So that is where it brings us to my YouTube channel. I have some videos on there. Also, my good friend Adriana Schroeder, on her YouTube channel, she has some math videos that we've been putting out there to help teach you guys. So if you haven't already, go check those out. But I hope you guys are really honing in these skills because they're an essential part of your life. But that's it for me. So until next time, I will see you all later. Bye, everyone.